Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2,000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Filipino ebook before it's gone.
Hi everyone, kamusta? I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. So for today's lesson, we are going to talk about top 25 verbs that you will need when you go to the Philippines. So let's go ahead and get started. Maging, to become. Maging, to become. Maging can mean to be or to become. Mahirap maging hindi tapat sa sarili. It's hard not to be honest with yourself. Gustuhin, to like. So next word is gustuhin, to like. Nagustuhan niya ang pinadala mo. She liked what you sent. Gawin, to do. Next word is gawin, which means to do. It's easier said than done. In Filipino, we say, mas madaling sabihin kaysa gawin. And your mom will always use this because your mom always has many things that she wants you to do. Sabihin, to say. So our next verb is sabihin. In English, it can mean either to say or to tell. So for example, we want to say in English, don't tell our secret to anyone. In Filipino, you would say, huwag mong sabihin ang sikreto natin kahit kanino. Ipaliwanag, to explain. Ipaliwanag, to explain. Dapat ipaliwanag ng guro ng mabuti ang paksa. The teacher should explain the matter thoroughly. So for example, you're resting, looking at your phone, and then here comes your mom and tells you, magpaliwanag ka. Explain. This is very useful when you have to talk to your mom. Marinig, to hear. Marinig, to hear. Hindi kita marinig. I can't hear you. Again, you can use this when you're talking to your mom. Probably you can tell her, I didn't do this because I didn't hear you tell me do this. That's a very unsatisfactory answer for your mom all the time. Pumunta, to go. Pumunta, to go. So we can say, gusto kong pumunta sa Palawan. I want to go to Palawan. Tara na, biyahe tayo. Alamin, to know. Alamin, to know. Gusto kong alamin kung mas mahirap bang matutunan ang Japanese o Chinese. I want to know if it's harder to learn Japanese or Chinese. Compared to Japanese or Chinese, Filipino is easier, right? So, please take the time to study Filipino. You will take less time than studying Japanese than if you go and study Japanese or Chinese. So, you know what to learn. Kunin, to take. Kunin, to take. For example, we want to say in English, please take the bill so that we can leave already. In Filipino, what you will say is, kunin mo na ang bill natin para makaalis na tayo. So when you go to the Philippines and you eat at a restaurant and you want to ask for the check, just do this hand sign. Makita, to see. Makita, to see. Huwag kang mainis pag nakita mo. Don't get annoyed when you see it. So, what are the things that you get annoyed when you see? Dumating, to arrive. Dumating, to arrive. Dumating na ang pinakahihintay mong balita. Your long-awaited news has finally arrived. Isipin, to think. Isipin, to think. Isipin nating mabuti bago magdesisyon. Let's think of it thoroughly before making a decision. Actually, this is very important because every day of your life you have to think. Tumingin, to look. Tumingin, to look. Huwag kang tumingin sa malayo pag may kausap ka. Don't look far away when you're talking with someone. Because obviously you're talking with someone, right? How would it feel like if you're talking to this person face to face and you're looking at the side like this? Naisin, to want. Naisin, to want. I want to become an engineer rather than be a doctor. Mas nais kong maging inhinyero kaysa maging doktor. Magbigay, to give. Magbigay, to give. For example, someone asks you, oh, who can give me advice on something? And then you say, Alex gives excellent advice on whatever that is. In Filipino, how you would say it, magaling magbigay ng payo si Alex. Gamitin, to use. gamitin, to use. So for example, I don't know where you can use actually you can use gamitin a lot. For example, let's use it in a proper sentence. Hindi natin pwedeng gamitin ang may nakasulat na bawal gamitin. So, in English, we can say, we can't use the ones which are marked don't use. I have a pretty straightforward, don't use it. Hanapin, to find. Hanapin, to find. You're asking your mom, where is this thing that I'm looking for? So she says, Pina, find it in the second drawer. In Filipino, it means, hanapin mo sa ikalawang drawer. Usually, your mom will call you Pina, according to her, if you don't use your eyes to look for things. It's very useful. So, just remember that if you are going to look for something, don't ask your mom. Because you don't know what kind of fate will befall you. You might be a pineapple at the end. Lumabas, to go out. Lumabas, or to go out. So, you want to ask permission from your parents before you go out. How do we say it in Filipino? Magpaalam ka muna sa iyong mga magulang bago ka lumabas. Ask permission from your parents before you go out. Someday, kids, you will be parents too. Magtanong, to ask. Magtanong, to ask. So, for example, you have a new office mate and you want to tell your office mate, huwag kang mahiyang magtanong kapag hindi mo alam ang sagot. In English, what you just said means, don't hesitate to ask if you don't know the answer. Magtrabaho, to work. The next verb is magtrabaho, or to work. So, for example, you want to say, as much as possible, I don't want to work overtime. In Filipino, you can tell your boss, ayaw kong magtrabaho ng overtime hanggat maaari. Mag, it's the way you conjugate verbs, but it's in Filipino. And then trabaho comes from the Spanish word trabajo. Pumasok, to enter. Pumasok, to enter. For example, you went to a club and you have a friend who looks 18, actually, who looks younger than 18, like a high school student. So you can tell this friend, you are not allowed to enter the club if you're under 18 years old. Or in Filipino, bawal pumasok sa club ang mas bata sa 18 taong gulang. Maramdaman, to feel. So next verb is maramdaman, or to feel. For example, you really are irritated with a person and you don't want the person to feel that you're irritated with him or her. So if you want to say in English, I don't want her to feel that I'm frustrated, then you would say in Filipino, ayaw kong maramdaman niya ang inis ko sa kanya. But I think you have to approach her and tell her that you are frustrated. So go ahead and tell her. Subukan, to try. Subukan. This again, some like really inspiring example sentences that we have here. You want to say to your friend, because you want to be really encouraging, why don't you try it before you say that you can't? And assuming that this friend cannot understand English, then you would have to learn the Filipino. You would say, bakit di mo subukan bago mo sabihin na hindi mo kaya? Mag-iwan, to leave. Mag-iwan. It actually means to leave something. You want to say in Filipino, mag-iwan ka ng 500 pesos or ng 500 piso para pambili ng pagkain. In English, please leave 500 pesos to buy food. Tumakbo, to run. Last verb for this lesson is tumakbo, or to run. So, for example, you are running and then you realize it's 200 meters already. So you would say, it's tiring to run more than 200 meters. And in Filipino, if you really want to say it, you would say, nakakapagod tumakbo ng higit sa 200 metro. So that's it for our lesson for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Do you have any other Filipino verbs that you know that didn't make it to the list? Go ahead and don't hesitate. Please subscribe. Stay here until the next lesson begins. Genki. Hi everyone. Hi everyone, I'm Erica and welcome to Filipino Top Words. For today, we will learn the 10 phrases you never want to hear. So let's begin. Nadagdagan ba ang timbang mo nitong nakaraan? Have you gained weight recently? The first phrase you won't ever want to hear is, nadagdagan ba ang timbang mo nitong nakaraan? In English, have you gained weight recently? I don't know. I also don't like hearing it, but I don't mind it. But I don't like hearing it. This is nicely put, actually. So for Filipinos, they would ask you directly. They would not ask you. They would comment on you. Oh, you look fatter, right? Or you look bigger. So in Filipino, you got a bit bigger or you got fatter. You became bigger. In Filipino is tumaba ka. Usually like that, like aunts, they see you, for example, you've been away for quite some time, you come back, and then your aunts will be like, oh, tumaba ka. Right? Especially in the Philippines, you get lots of food every time you go to a restaurant. And there's another thing. Usually, you have your rice, right? And then you have your meat. And then you eat your rice with your meat, and then you realize, oh, I still have some more meat left. Then you'll get another serving of rice, and then you eat your rice, and then you eat your meat, and then you realize, I don't have any more meat, but I still have rice. And then, okay, I'll get another serving of meat. And then it's like, and it happens, you know. Mayroon kang puting buhok. You have gray hair. So the next phrase that you won't ever want to hear is mayroon kang puting buhok. Or in English, you have gray hair or white. When someone tells me I have gray hair, I immediately try to have it pulled. For me, for instance, I'm always like concerned. I just want my hair to be always like this, really shiny black. And then, so we take care of it, right? Like you cover your hair also because too much sun can make your hair, what can damage your hair, like make it a bit lighter, almost brown. But I want my hair always to be black, so I'm kind of really very like careful with it. Sinabi ko na sa'yo. I told you so. Sinabi ko na sa'yo. Or, I told you so. Who wants to hear this? No one, right? In any other language, no one will hear this, I think. Right? Because it just like drives your mistake into your face. Like, you did this. I told you so. You should have done this. And if you're Filipino, your immediate response would be, obvious ba? Or isn't it obvious? Just like, leave.
Like, ano nga yun?
Because Filipinos can be very sarcastic also. So they would just be like, yeah, it happened. So, nothing can be done. So, what's the point of saying, I told you so? Tanggal ka na sa trabaho. You're fired. Tanggal ka na sa trabaho. Or, you're fired. So, if you're at work, do your job properly because they're paying you. They might as well do it, right? Hindi ikaw ang problema. Ako. It is not you. It is me. The next phrase that you don't want to hear, especially if you're splitting up, is hindi ikaw ang problema. Ako, basya, ako. Charot. Which in English is, it's not you. It is me. Okay. It's you then. If you insist, go ahead. Salamat sa pagpapadala ng iyong resume. Ngunit, ang posisyon ay napuno na. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled. The next phrase that no one ever wants to hear is actually not a phrase. It's actually 2 sentences. But still, you don't want to hear or you don't want to read, right? Is, salamat sa pagpapadala ng iyong resume. Ngunit, ang posisyon ay napuno na. Or, thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled.
Next.
But this is a nice thing actually to receive, especially if you're applying, right, for jobs, because you're not left just waiting. So at least you know, okay, this is not for me. I'm going to move on, look for another boyfriend or another girlfriend. Usually goes. Dapat tayong makipagkita sa ibang mga tao. We should see other people. The next phrase you hopefully won't hear is dapat tayong makipagkita sa ibang mga tao. Or, we should see other people. I don't know why it's so sad. It's all about rejection. So, hopefully you don't get to experience this. Kailangan natin mag-usap. We need to talk. So, the next phrase that you don't ever want to hear is, kailangan natin mag-usap. Or, we need to talk. I think in any circumstance, this is not a nice phrase to hear, right? Whether it be your boyfriend, girlfriend, or your boss, then this is never a nice phrase to hear. So what do you do when someone tells you, we need to talk?
Mag-rosaryo ko.
Well, because we are Filipinos and we're religious, then we start praying at the rosary. Ang pangit mo. You're ugly. Next phrase that you definitely don't want to hear directed to you is, ang pangit mo. Or, you're ugly. I mean, who would say this? Is there anyone who will say this? Will anyone say this?
Super mean.
Are you a kid to say this?
Yeah.
I think only kids say this, right? And even kids nowadays are kind of a bit like politically correct. They don't really just say you're ugly. You are ugly. So if someone tells this to you, then just unfriend this person. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Pasensya na, nakalimutan ko. Sorry, I forgot. Pasensya na, nakalimutan ko. Which in English is, sorry, I forgot. This is very useful actually, but if it's directed to you, and for instance, the thing that was forgotten is very important, then you don't want to hear this. Say, your boyfriend to buy bread on his way home, right? And he forgot, so you don't have breakfast. So, can you eat, sorry, I forgot?
So you just break his face.
So that's it for this lesson. Hope you learned phrases that you don't want to hear. Don't try using those phrases because otherwise you will also hear more phrases that you don't want to hear. Don't ever want to hear. So are there any other phrase that has been said to you that you realize you don't like? If there are, please don't forget to comment them down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want more lessons in Filipino, go to filipinopod101.com and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. I hope you won't have any problems with your partners. And always stay in love because the problem is you, not me. Hi everyone! Kamusta? My name is Erica. Welcome to Filipino Top Words. For today's topic, we are going to talk about the top 25 phrases. Let's begin. Kamusta ka? Hello, how are you? The first phrase is kamusta ka? Hello or how are you? So when you're meeting someone for the first time, you try to be a bit more polite and say, instead of kamusta ka, you say kamusta po kayo, which is the same as hello, how are you? Magandang umaga. Good morning. So the next word is magandang umaga, which means good morning. People that are very, very warm, very kind. So it's very common to hear like people greeting each other when they pass by each other in the corridor and like in the classroom, for example, in the office. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Magandang tanghali. Good noon. So now what do we say when it's noon? We say magandang tanghali. Good noon. In the Philippines, especially during lunchtime, when you come in and then like it's everyone is eating, you always say magandang tanghali. And then when they hear you say it, you sound as if you're a native speaker. Magandang hapon. Good afternoon. Okay, so when the morning is done, noon is over, then what do you say? Magandang hapon. Good afternoon. Magandang gabi. Good evening. So if you want to say good evening, you say magandang gabi. Anong pangalan mo? What's your name? So what if you're going to ask someone for their name? So you say, anong pangalan mo? Or, what's your name? If you meet someone for the first time, if it's the morning, you say, good morning, what's your name? Magandang umaga, anong pangalan mo? When you want to ask someone for their name, you need to be polite. So, you add po, which is the particle, and then you use the plural form of you. So you say, ano pong pangalan nyo? Ako si, I'm. If you are on the receiving end of that question, then you say, ako si, name. Or, I'm, name. Ako si Erica. I'm Erica. Ikinagagalak kong makilala ka. Nice to meet you. If you want to express now how happy you are to meet this new person, then you would say, ikinagagalak kong makilala ka. Nice to meet you. Since this is the first time you're meeting this person, you should use the polite form, which is, ikinagagalak ko po kayong makilala. Ayos lang ako. Ikaw. I'm fine. And you? When someone asks you, how are you? Of course, either you are okay or you're not. You will say, you are fine. So how do you say it in Filipino? You would say, ayos lang ako. Ikaw. In English, I'm fine. And you? Or if you are not okay, you can say, ayos lang ako. Ikaw. Paki. Please. So if you want to ask someone for a favor, what would you say? In English, we say please. In Filipino, we use a prefix that we say as paki. We add to another verb. So for example, we say, please bring this to the office. Then you will say in Filipino, pakidala ito sa opisina. Salamat. Thank you. Salamat or thank you. Walang anuman. You're welcome. Then, you also want to be polite and say, you're welcome. Or in Filipino, walang anuman. Oo. Yes. How do you express agreement in Filipino? You say, oo, which means yes. Very simple. For example, there's an older person talking to you and you want to say yes. You should be a bit more polite and say, opo. Hindi. No. So what if you want to say no? Then you use hindi. Or if you want to be polite, you say hindi po. Sige. Okay. So say you have a friend who asks you, do you want to drink with me all night, have party all night, you know, those kind of things. And then you say, yeah, fine, okay. So in Filipino, you say, sige. Paumanhin. Excuse me. So for example, you have an older colleague at work and this person is busy, but you need to ask her for something. So you say, excuse me. And in Filipino, you say, paumanhin or paumanhin po, to be more polite. Patawad. I'm sorry. If you did something really, really bad, then we use patawad. I'm sorry. Anong oras na? What time is it? So what does anong oras na mean? It means, what time is it? Nasaan ang CR? Where is the restroom? Nasaan ang CR? Or, to be polite, because even at that time, you have to be polite, even if it's like really urgent. You have to be polite. You say, nasaan po ang CR? Hindi ko alam. I don't know. Hindi ko alam. I don't know. If your boss asks you, oh, where is your office mate, this person? And then you don't know, then you say, hindi ko po alam. Sandali lang. Wait a moment. So if you say to your boss, because your boss is asking you, where is the report? You want to say, wait a moment. So you say, sandali lang po. So your friends came over to your house and you haven't taken a bath. You haven't fixed yourself. And then your friends just want to go out to have fun. But you want to say, wait a moment, wait a minute. Give me like an hour or something to at least get ready. So you would say, sandali lang. Magkano ito? How much is this? So you finally got dressed and then you went out with your friend and you are at the mall, like looking at some nice pearls because in the Philippines we have lots of pearls. How will you ask the salesperson? So you can say, magkano po ito? Or if you're a friend, or if it's like a younger salesperson probably, you can just simply say, magkano ito? How much is this? Pwede bang makuha na ang bill? Could I get the check, please? After dinner, you want to pay because it's your treat, because you forced your friends to eat adobo. So you would ask the waitress or the waiter for the check. So how do you say it in Filipino? Pwede bang makuha ang bill? Could I get the check, please? Or, if you cannot remember all these, just simply do this. Tulong. Help. So you're walking in the street and then you're very not careful with your things. So you're walking, you're holding your bag like this, and someone stole your bag. Like, oh. You want to call for help. So what do you say? You say, tulong, help. And then the more you scream it, the more people will hear you. Hanggang sa muli. See you again soon. It's the end of the day and you've had fun with your friends. So you tell your friends, oh, okay, bye. See you again soon. Which in Filipino is hanggang sa muli. But in regular conversations, you don't really say this. We tend to say, see you or sige. That was the last word for today and thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you learned new words. So what words have you heard? What words have you used before? Put them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to FilipinoPod101.com. Bye!
Hi guys, welcome to Filipino Toppers and I'm Ice, and today we're gonna learn about some English and maybe some Filipino. Today's topic is 10 foods that will kill you faster, or in other words, the nicest tasting ones. Bacon. Okay, so the first word is bacon. For example, bacon na may itlog ang karaniwan kong almusal, which means bacon with eggs is my usual breakfast. I wish, but not exactly because bacon is actually expensive here in the Philippines. Maybe more like hot dog and egg. Yeah. Energy drinks. Next one is energy drink. It means energy drinks. Okay, you could use it in this sentence, like, mahilig si Tom uminom ng energy drink. Which means Tom loves drinking energy drinks. I'd like to replace Tom with Ice. Ice likes to drink energy drinks. But Monster is my favorite one. Energy drinks. This is Filipino energy drink. It's called Cobra. And there's lots of flavors. Prinosesong carne, processed meat. Prinosesong carne, which means processed meat. Ang prinosesong karne ay may halong ibang kemikal na maaaring hindi maganda sa kalusugan. Processed meat is mixed with other chemicals which might not be good for your health. Also known as my top 10 favorite foods. Frozen na pagkain, frozen meals. Next one is frozen na pagkain, which means frozen meals. Hindi ako mahilig sa frozen na pagkain. I'm not fond of frozen foods. I like warm foods. So, you could have my ham. Because I don't like frozen foods. Chicheria, potato chips. Chicheria, meaning potato chips. Well, actually, it doesn't just mean potato chips. It might also be corn chips or chips. Like this one. For example, nanonood siya ng palabas habang kumakain ng chichirya. He's watching a show while eating chips. Margarina, margarine. Next one is margarina, which is margarine. Mabango ang pagkaing may margarina. Food with margarine is aromatic. Also tastes nice. But it's bad for you. So don't. Instant noodles. Instant noodles. Next one is instant noodles, which means instant noodles, also known as pancit canton or instant mommy. This is like my favorite thing growing up. Sa Japan nagsimula ang instant noodles. Instant noodles started in Japan. Candy. Candy. Next one is candy, which is candy. But nakakasira sa ngipin ang candy. Candy destroys the teeth. Soft drinks. Soda. Next one is soft drinks. It's actually in English, but it's not just any kind of soft drinks. Soft drinks in Filipino means soda. 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 Mahal ang soft drinks sa hotel. Sodas are expensive at the hotel. Asukal, sugar. The next one is asukal, meaning sugar. Napadami ang nilagay kong asukal, kaya sobrang tamis. I put in too much sugar, that's why it's too sweet. Okay, and that's 10 foods that will kill you faster. If you like this lesson, please click that like button somewhere. And please subscribe. For more tools to learn the Filipino language, head on over to filipinopod101.com. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Today we are going to learn 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Salamat, pero sa totoo lang, hindi ako isang native speaker. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. Salamat, pero sa totoo lang, hindi ako isang native speaker. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. If you start learning now, you'll be one of those few foreigners who can amaze Filipinos. Isang taon lang ang kinailangan ko para maging mahusay sa pagsasalita. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Isang taon lang ang kinailangan ko para maging mahusay sa pagsasalita. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. So I don't know how easy actually Filipino is for foreign people. I don't know if in 1 year you'll be able to speak it. Probably like the basics of it, right? Because Filipino, you don't really need to learn new alphabet. And also, some of the words are in Spanish. So if you kind of know Spanish, then you would most probably understand some of the words. But for you to be able to speak 1 year, I think is fine. But for you to be able to actually understand all the nuances in the language, then 1 year is probably a bit too short. Makakapagsalita ako ng Filipino gaya ng isang Pilipino sa loob ng 3 taon. I'll speak Filipino like a native speaker in 3 years. Makakapagsalita ako ng Filipino gaya ng isang Pilipino sa loob ng 3 taon. I'll speak Filipino like a native speaker in 3 years. That's actually a good target, right? But of course, there are still so many things that you won't be probably like inside jokes, right? Like, or especially since Filipino language is, like any other language, is continuously evolving, right? Because we have lots of slang now, right? Like slang that you get from American slang, and then also gay language, gay lingo, right? So all of those words, and then usually when you learn Filipino, you won't get to hear those slang or like street words. And most people actually use a bit of like casual, even in, they only use really formal Filipino in, say, formal situations, formal settings. So this is a good target, but good luck. 10 taon na akong nag-aaral ng Filipino. I've been learning Filipino for 10 years. 10 taon na akong nag-aaral ng Filipino. I've been learning Filipino for 10 years. That's actually very good. I mean, for me, for us, like English, we take so many years and still there's some things that you cannot understand. So for instance, we learn English, like standard English, right? And then you talk to, say, an American or to a British person. And then there's so many words that you cannot understand. But you cannot understand them because these are like, but it's like the usage of the words is different from how you learned it from the dictionary. Sometimes when you speak to them, you sound so formal. 10 years is very good. Kaya kong manood ng mga pelikulang Filipino nang walang subtitle. I can watch Filipino movies without subtitles. Kaya kong manood ng mga pelikulang Filipino nang walang subtitle. I can watch Filipino movies without subtitles. We are releasing so many indie movies recently. Those are really good movies, so please watch Filipino movies. And if you can see them without subtitles, very good. Kaya kong magkabisa ng higit kumulang mga 50 bagong salitang Filipino kada araw. I can memorize around 50 new Filipino words a day. Kaya kong magkabisa ng higit kumulang mga 50 bagong salitang Filipino kada araw. I can memorize around 50 new Filipino words a day. Oh, that's very impressive. I don't have memories. Masaya at madaling aralin ang Filipino. Filipino is fun and easy to learn. Masaya at madaling aralin ang Filipino. Filipino is fun and easy to learn. Yeah, which actually it is, right? It's very, I think it's easier compared to, say, Japanese or Chinese. Because as I've said, first, Filipino, you don't need to learn new alphabet, which immediately makes it easy, right? Because learning a new alphabet is very hard, right? I mean, if you say, for example, walk in the streets and then you can read the signs, that's already something. Because say you go to Japan, then you see all the signs and you cannot read kanji or hiragana or katakana, right? Then you cannot, it's like as if you're, I don't know, you're lost. But at least with Filipino, then you can immediately read the signs. And then the next thing is, you learn the words. Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo. I completely understood everything you said. Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo. I completely understood everything you said. Yeah, so when someone tells you this, then they're amazed. Yeah, so that's why they're just like, oh, great. So, for example, someone tells you this very long explanation about something. Then, as a Filipino, you can simply say, gets ko. Because that's very Filipino, actually. Which means, I got it. Marami akong alam na slang sa Filipino. I know a lot of slang words in Filipino. Marami akong alam na slang sa Filipino. I know a lot of slang words in Filipino. It depends also when you use the slang words, because not in all circumstances can you use slang words, right? Especially if you're just meeting someone for the first time, then you would want to be a bit more formal. Then becoming too formal is not natural. It can be seen as sarcastic even. Actually, I think the key to being thought of as fluent is like getting this balance of being like casual, natural, and also a bit like more formal, right? I think so. Nakakabasa na ako ng nobela sa Filipino. I can now read a novel in Filipino. Nakakabasa na ako ng nobela sa Filipino. I can now read a novel in Filipino, which is very good. If you read actual like old Filipino novels, it's very, what do you call this, like flowery. It's like it really evokes emotions when you read Filipino novels. It's actually hard to write in really, say, old poetic Filipino now. So that's it for today's Filipino top words. What sentence would you say to amaze us? But actually, we're easily amazed, so don't hesitate to write anything down below. Or comment, because you might comment negative things, right? Okay. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see other videos like this, then head on to filipinopod101.com. See you in the next lesson.
Naintindihan ko ang lahat ng sinabi mo.
Marami akong alam. Inay, ito na po ang inyong pansit. Na binili ko sa kanto. Inay, wag mo akong iwan, inay.
Hi guys!
Hi guys!
Hi guys! Welcome to Filipino Toppers with me, Ice, and today's topic is 10 hardest words to pronounce. Okay, so just try and say these words, and I'm sure like your Filipino friends will be very impressed. Try practicing these words so you can pronounce it properly. Baba baba, going down. This first one is actually a sentence and it's just made of one syllable, which is ba. So it goes baba baba, it means going down. Baba means down, and bababa means going down, and the ba at the end is like our question marking particle. So baba baba. If you're going down and someone asks this to you, then you just reply with oo, meaning yes, or bababa. So bababa, bababa. It's like the longest conversation in Filipino using one syllable. Bulaklak, flower. Okay, next is bulaklak, meaning flower. For example, mabango ang bulaklak. The flower smells good. Dumadagundong, rumbling. Dumadagundong, meaning rumbling. Doesn't it sound like it's a rumbling noise? Like dumadagundong. It's like all the bass in that word. For example, dumadagundong na ang bagyo sa labas. The storm is already rumbling outside. Dumadagundong. 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 Di ka panipaniwala. Unbelievable. Next is di ka panipaniwala, meaning unbelievable. For example, di ka panipaniwala ang sinapit ng pamilya niya. The plight of his family is unbelievable. Kagilagilalas. Astounding. Next is kagilagilalas, which means astounding. Hindi na ako nakakakita ng kagilagilalas na pangyayari. I no longer see any astounding events. Kinakailangan. Important. Next one is kinakailangan, meaning important. Kinakailangan laging maging tapat sa trabaho. We must always be honest at work. Kumukuti-kutitap, twinkling. Next one is kumukuti-kutitap, meaning twinkling. So I guess the hard part of this is like the vowels, because like it's mostly u, but there's like I and somewhere. Kumukuti-kutitap. I guess the only way to pronounce this is to remember all the syllables. Kumukuti-kutitap, twinkling. Ang bituin ay kumukuti-kutitap. The star is twinkling. How would you even sing like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Kumukuti-kutitap, kumukuti-kutitap. Try to say it very fast, like kumukuti-kutitap, kumukuti-kutitap, kumukuti-kutitap. Mamasa-masa, moist. The next is mamasa-masa, meaning moist. You have to be careful of the accents here because masa means moist, but there's another word spelled the same called masa, which means the masses. So masa and masa. So just be careful to say it as masa. mamasa-masa. For example, mamasa-masa pa ang damo. The grass is still moist.
Misterioso, mysterious.
Next one is misterioso, meaning mysterious. I don't know, it sounds like it's easy enough to pronounce, like just mysterious becomes misterios with an O at the end. Like Spanish people could do it. Misterioso. For example, siya ay isang misteryosong babae, meaning she is a mysterious woman.
Patalastas, commercial.
Next one is patalastas, meaning commercial. This one, I actually had a problem saying this when I was a kid, and I just remember it being very hard for me, but yeah, now it's fine. For example, laging maraming patalastas ang laban ni Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's fights always have a lot of commercials. Cause yeah, those things like involve a lot of money, so they need a lot of commercials. Okay, and that's it for today. That was 10 hardest words to pronounce. Which do you think is the hardest one to pronounce for you? Like, just comment it down below. Do you have any word that you think is hard for me to pronounce? And I will accept your challenge. Or like, if you could think of any word that is hard to pronounce in Filipino, put it in the comment below. Maybe I'll try to say it for you in the next lessons. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, press the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino, check out our site, filipinopod101.com. See you again next time. Thank you, salamat, and paalam.
Hi guys, welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Ice, and today's topic is 10 phrases you always want to hear. Ang ganda mo ngayon. You look great today. Okay, the first phrase is ang ganda mo ngayon. You look great today. This is kind of a double-edged sword because if you say you look great today, did they look not great yesterday? But still, it's nice to hear, I guess. Ganda mo ngayon. Makeup ka, no? Miss na kita. I miss you. Next phrase is, miss na kita. I miss you. If you're away and they say I miss you, then that's fine, I guess, because like, you're not together. But if someone says you and you've been hanging out like every day, that means something else. Like, you're there but not there kind of thing. So, see for yourself. So, if you want to say that I really miss you, then you just say, miss na kita. May bonus sa katapusan ng buwan. There'll be a bonus at the end of the month. Okay, the next phrase that you always want to hear is, may bonus sa katapusan ng buwan. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. Yeah, this one, you'd want to hear this. Especially if you're like, not good with the bills. Napakagaling mong magluto. You're an excellent cook. Napakagaling mong magluto. You're an excellent cook. If you know how to cook, unlike me, and you give your friends some of the things you cook, and they say this to you, then always want to hear that. Yeah. Magpahinga ka. Ako ang maglilinis ngayon. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Magpahinga ka. Ako maglilinis ngayon. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Oh, yeah. Like, guess if you hear this, that would be very great as well. I need help with the cleaning. Tama ka. You were right. Okay, another thing you might want to hear is tama ka. Or you were right. Yeah, I guess you want to hear this when you're in an argument. Dinalhan kita ng isang special na bagay. I brought you something special. Next one is, dinalhan kita ng isang special na bagay. That means, I brought you something special. I want something special. Unlimited ang budget. The budget is unlimited. Next phrase you would want to hear is unlimited ang budget. Or the budget is unlimited. Definitely. If you want like bunch of equipment and they say to you, the budget is unlimited. Like, yeah! Ililibre kita. I'll treat you. Next one is ililibre kita. Meaning, I'll treat you. Ah, so nice. Oh, many Filipinos love hearing this. So like, if you want to make Filipino friends, make sure to say this. Yeah. Ang bait mo. You're kind. Ang bait mo. Meaning, you're kind. Sometimes it's nice to know that like your kindness is being appreciated. So like if someone says this to you, then you'll feel happy, I guess. If you want to convey that they're very kind, just repeat the adjective. So it's gonna be ang bait-bait mo. So that means you're very kind. Okay, and that's it for this topic. 10 phrases you always want to hear. And if you like this video, press the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel somewhere. To learn more Filipino, please go to filipinopod101.com. And I'll see you next time. Salamat, thank you, paalam.
Hello guys, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. For today's lesson, we will be talking about 10 ways to remember words. So, knowing how to remember words will actually help us learn Filipino better and faster. So let's go to the first way. So the first way is sa pamamagitan ng pag-uulit, through repetition. Mas maaalala mo ang mga salita sa pamamagitan ng pag-uulit. You will remember the words better through repetition. Repeating stuff to yourself is actually very helpful. So even when you're reviewing for exams, that's how many people actually get to remember words. And one tip, if you're going to review or try to remember words or things that you just want to do, better study them before you go to bed. Do you know that? So the next way is manood ng TV series na may subtitle. To watch TV series with subtitles. 3 beses sa isang araw ako nanonood ng TV series na may subtitle para matuto ng Filipino. I watch TV series with subtitles 3 times a day in order to learn Filipino. For instance, because I'm learning Japanese now, so I also watch lots of dramas or anime, of course. And then you have subtitles there, and then you hear words, you begin to associate words with the English words that you see in the subtitle. So sort of like you get the idea of what these words mean. And then of course you have to check them if they are really what you think they are. And then by hearing them again and again, and then again through repetition, you will eventually learn these words much easier. The third way is magsanay sa pamamagitan ng pagsusulat. To practice by writing. Magaling si Lenny sa balarila dahil siya ay laging nagsasanay magsulat sa Filipino. Lenny is good at grammar because she always practices by writing in Filipino. I think this is very important to distinguish, it's very important to distinguish between spoken Filipino and written Filipino. So in our example sentence, Lenny, this girl, is better in grammar because she always practices by writing. Because in written Filipino is actually a lot more formal than spoken Filipino. So if you want to really learn the formal Filipino, then the best way for you to learn it is to practice it by writing. So the next is magbasa ng malakas. To read out loud. Basahin mo ng malakas ang mga salita. In English, read the words out loud. So why would it actually help? Because it's like you're saying it and then you're hearing it at the same time. Yeah, because sometimes if you're just like trying to read something and you just try to remember things, you cannot really, I mean, you can remember, but of course it's different when you start speaking it out loud. So that's why when you attend, say, language classes, there are classes just for reading, right? And for speaking. So you can also build confidence when you speak. So you know how the words are spoken. Next is, gumawa ng mga kwento. To make up stories. It doesn't mean that you should be gossiping or lying and making up stories about people, no. This means, let's hear the example sentence. Gumawa ka ng kwento tungkol sa iyong mga karanasan sa Filipino. Make up stories about your experiences in Filipino. You can pretend that you've been to the Philippines, right? And then just write things about, what I will do in the Philippines is if I'm going there, or if I already went there, what I would have done. So you can just invent things that, just to practice. So I remember when I was in university, I was learning Italian. And one of the things that we were always asked to write is just little paragraphs about what you do in a day, just to practice using different words every day and just getting used to writing things in that language. It actually helps really a lot. But I forgot my Italian already. So. Next is, lumikha ng ugnayan ng mga salita. To create associations between words. Lumilikha ako ng ugnayan ng mga salita para hindi ko makalimutan. I create associations of words in order not to forget them. So I think this is very useful in Filipino since in Filipino there are many words that sound similar but are actually different. They mean differently. So for instance, you want to say wet in Filipino, then you would say basa. But it also, the same 4 letters you would use to say read, which is basa. So it's just different way of pronouncing the words. In a way, it makes it difficult. But also, you can get 2 ideas of those 4 letters together, right? So when you see B-A-S-A, you immediately associate it with either getting wet or reading a book, which is kind of really far, but at least you immediately get 2 words at once. And I don't really make fun of your language, so it's fine, because everyone speaks kind of casual. Unless you're writing, then of course, then you don't need to worry about pronunciation, but you have to worry about your grammar. Next is, magkabisa sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig. To memorize by listening. Magaling ang pandinig ni Kay dahil kaya niyang kabisaduhin ang salita kahit sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig lamang. Kay has good ears because she can memorize words just by listening. So some people can actually really remember words just by listening, but it depends on the language. So for instance, in Filipino, it's actually kind of easy to remember things by hearing. But say you're learning Chinese or Japanese, right? Then just by hearing, you cannot really easily remember the meaning of the words unless you also check the meaning of how it's written. So, but in Filipino, it's kind of easier to really understand the meaning of words just by listening, and especially by understanding the context. Next is, magbasa ng simpleng mga babasahin. To read simple texts. Kapag may pagsasalin, subukan mong basahin ang mga simpleng babasahin sa Filipino kaysa sa Ingles. If there's a translation, try to read simple texts in Filipino rather than in English. It's actually for more practice. So, because sometimes when you have textbooks, right, there's always an English version of it and the version of the language that you're studying. So, sometimes it helps if you go first, read the word in the target language, and then you read the English, because you can sort of first guess what it means and then check if you actually got the meaning. And that's actually very helpful. And I say actually a lot. Next is, makinig ng kanta na may lyrics. To listen to songs with lyrics. Maraming magagandang kantang Filipino na may lyrics na mapapakinggan sa YouTube. There are a lot of nice songs with lyrics in Filipino that you can listen to on YouTube. Why there are so many songs with lyrics in Filipino? Because Filipinos like to do karaoke. Or in Filipino, videoke. Actually, that's how we say it, videoke. Videoke. Because we like doing this karaoke a lot. So there's so many places where you can go to do karaoke, right? And then even on days that you don't want to do karaoke, people are still doing karaoke. Your neighbors are still singing. Everyone is singing. It's everyone's birthday every day. So there's always going to be someone singing around you. Next is, ulitin bago matulog. To repeat before going to sleep. Ulitin mo bago matulog ang mga salitang natutunan mo. Repeat the words you've learned before going to sleep. This is actually very, very helpful because now I'm learning how to bike. I was gifted a bike for my birthday because I was told that I need to learn a new skill. And then every evening I actually practice it. And then one of my friends said, you should study something or practice something before going to bed. And then after you practice this, don't do anything anymore. So don't look at your phone, don't read anything. If you want this information to be retained in your mind and in your body, if it's like an activity. So actually, learning how to bike every evening helped me a lot. So now I can bike. So that's it for today's lesson and hope you learned something new. So what are your ways of learning words? If there is anything that we didn't say but you actually use and is very helpful for you, don't forget to comment them down below and like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino, visit filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa muli! See you in the next lesson! Hi everyone, I'm Erica and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is the 10 questions you should know in Filipino. So let's begin. Anong pangalan mo? What's your name? The first question that you should know is Anong pangalan mo? In English, what's your name? So, how do you answer this question? For instance, my name is Erica. So in Filipino, I would say Ako si Erica or I'm Erica. This is a very useful question when you want to get to know other people. So you better remember this. Anong pangalan mo? In English, what's your name? Kamusta? How are you? The next question that you should know is Kamusta? Or in English, how are you? How do you respond to this question? You say, Mabuti naman. Ikaw? Or, I'm good. You? So, this is also again another very common question that you can ask your friends just because you're friends. So, you have to know how they are. Parang lagi na lang magka-sarcastic yung... Actually, the longer version is kamusta ka? But no one really says that now. So, you can just simply say, kamusta? Yeah, or even shorter, you can just say, musta. So, it's very nice actually to say this to people, especially if you haven't seen them for a long time. Taga saan ka? Where are you from? So the next question that you should know is, taga saan ka? Or in English, where are you from? So, how do you answer this question? If you are, say, from Manila, then you reply, taga Maynila ako. Or, I'm from Manila. So, say you are from Lisbon, then you'd say, taga Lisbon ako. Or, I'm from Lisbon. So this is also a very important question to know, especially if you're just meeting someone for the first time. So, I don't know, just people are very interested in where you go home. Or where you're from, not really where you go home. Kailan ang iyong kaarawan? When is your birthday? Kailan ang iyong kaarawan? In English, when is your birthday? So if you want to really respond to this question in fluent Filipino, then you would say, sa ika-25 ng Disyembre ang aking kaarawan. Or in English, this translates to my birthday is on December 25th. If it's December 25, then obviously your birthday is on Christmas. But if say August 9, then you would say in Filipino, ika-siyam ng Agosto. But no one really says that, so you just say August 9. Just say August 9. Ang kaarawan ko ay sa August 9. Or, my birthday is on August 9. Saan ka nakatira? Where do you live? Saan ka nakatira? Or, where do you live? So, for example, you live in Makati City. which is the business district. So you will say, nakatira ako sa Makati, or I live in Makati. Saan ka nagtatrabaho? Where do you work? The next question that you should know is, saan ka nagtatrabaho? Or, where do you work? So, for example, you want to say that you work at Intel. Or sometimes there's call center in Intel, right? So, there are many call centers in the Philippines and many younger Filipinos work in call centers. And so, you can say, nagtatrabaho ako sa Intel. Or, I work at Intel. And then usually the follow-up question would be, what do you do at Intel? So then you would say, I'm a call center agent, or I'm IT person, or I'm the CEO of Intel. Oh, wow. Ano ang phone number mo? What's your phone number? The next question that you should know is, ano ang phone number mo? Oh, we're getting really in closer territories. So, for example, you really want to be friends with this person or more than friends. Then you ask, ano ang phone number mo? Or, what's your phone number? For instance, you want to give your phone number to this person, whoever this person is. Ang number ko ay, and then your number. For instance, 0123456789. In English, my number is this. So, usually people would still ask for your phone number. But usually they would say, what's your cell phone number? Saan ka nag-aral ng Filipino? Where did you learn Filipino? Saan ka nag-aral ng Filipino? In English, where did you learn Filipino? So this is very interesting and very important to be able to respond to this. When the person that you're talking to is really amazed with your Filipino, so you better reply with, nag-aral ako gamit ang filipinopod101.com, or I studied with filipinopod101.com. So where did you learn Filipino? Mahilig ka ba sa pagkaing Pilipino? Do you like Filipino food? Mahilig ka ba sa pagkaing Pilipino? Or, do you like Filipino food? For instance, you really do. So, how do you respond to this question? You say, oo, lalong-lalo na ang adobo, if adobo is your favorite. Or it can be kare-kare. Then you would say, oo, lalong-lalo na ang kare-kare. In English, yes, especially kare-kare or adobo. This is very important question to know because you usually get asked this question when you say go to gatherings or parties, or just when you're staying in a Filipino friend's house, right? Their moms would usually ask you, oh, do you like Filipino food? What do you want to eat? And then they will most probably give you that food, serve you that food. They're very hospitable. Saan ang magandang pasyalan sa Pilipinas? Where is it nice to go to in the Philippines? The next question that you should know is, saan ang magandang pasyalan sa Pilipinas? In English, where is it nice to go to in the Philippines? If I'm going to give an advice now, I would say Palawan, definitely. And you would see, just type Palawan in Google, you would see really beautiful pictures. But if you want to be really specific, where exactly in Palawan, then either El Nido or Coron. So, for instance, I would say sa Coron, Palawan. Or in English, in Coron, Palawan. It's very nice actually, very cheap. And very beautiful place. So, I haven't been to Coron, I've been to El Nido. I've been to El Nido, not Coron, not yet. So, those are the top 10 questions that you should know. And are there any other questions that you think you should know? If there are, please don't forget to comment them down below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and go to filipinopod101.com. Bye. Just joking. If you want real mangoes, go to the Philippines. We have the best mangoes. And if you really want the best mangoes, I think you should go to this island called Guimaras. Hi guys, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica, and for today we will be learning about Filipino foods. So, you probably know, or you probably don't know, that there are many different and delicious Filipino foods. Adobo. Adobo. The first food that everyone should know about is adobo. In English, we also call it adobo. Adobo ang paborito kong pagkaing Pilipino. Adobo is my favorite Filipino dish. So actually, adobo is the first thing that I've ever learned to make. It's the easiest, so you just need soy sauce, vinegar, bay leaf, or laurel leaf, whatever you call them. Sometimes people call them bay leaf, sometimes laurel leaf. And peppercorns, right? And then just boil those things together with pork or chicken or pork and chicken, depending on what you want to eat. And then everything will be nice and soft. Chicharon. Chicharon. Next is chicharon. In English, chicharon. Ang chicharon ay gawa sa balat ng baboy. Chicharon is made from pig skin. So it's actually crackling pig skin. Yeah, it's very crunchy. But I saw some show where they made chicharon by putting it in the oven. And I put it in the oven and then afterwards it came out really crackling. So that's how they made it. But I don't know if that's actually how you make it. I think the most popular brand of chicharon is Lapids. So if you want to try chicharon, try the Lapids chicharon. Just remember that's not very healthy. Try it, don't eat too much. You can also eat it with rice actually. Durian. Durian. Next food is, or fruit is durian. Or actually just durian. Masarap ang durian kahit na may amoy ito. Durian, or durian, is delicious, even if it doesn't smell good. Yeah, it actually doesn't smell good. But it tastes nice. To me, it just tastes like jackfruit. I don't know about you. If you want to try durian, you go to the southern part of the Philippines. That's where you can get them cheaper. Yeah, fresher, more potent smell. Go to Davao, get them there fresh, and it's really good. Halo-halo. 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 In English, halo-halo. Tuwing tag-araw, mabenta ang halo-halo. Every summer, halo-halo sells well. So halo-halo is made up of crushed ice with some sweet beans, with different fruits, and sometimes, what other stuff? Nata de coco, or like sweet coconut things. And also leche flan or caramel flan. That's actually how it is, like caramel flan. Or sometimes, what is it? Sweet yam. You know yam, right? Ube. And then sometimes, in some stores, they put ice cream on top of it. When I was young, my aunt actually sells halo-halo. So every summer, she makes halo-halo. And those are the best halo-halo. I don't really like halo-halo in other places. I only like her halo. But she didn't make them anymore because the way you make the crushed ice, it's very manual. Everything is manual. You have this small device, right? You know it, like, to do this with the ice. It's not like you buy crushed ice already. So you have this small, like this device. So for every what's this glass of halo-halo, it takes a lot of time for you to get crushed ice. So my friend here drew halo-halo. And this is it. So this is the crushed ice. And these are the stuff that you can put inside, like sweet beans, some fruits, and then this is the caramel flan or the pudding. And then sometimes they have ice cream here. And then you use the spoon to halo-halo or to mix everything. So that's it. Kare-kare. Kare-kare or peanut stew. Next food is kare-kare. In English, kare-kare. Or, if you really want to be fancy, peanut stew. Masarap magluto ng kare-kare si Joy. Joy cooks delicious peanut stew. If you've already noticed, we always like repeating words for the names of our food. Halo-halo and kare-kare. Before when I was young, I only get to eat kare-kare during fiesta. Because it's kind of an expensive food to make. Because traditionally, you would make kare-kare with, how do you call this part?
Tuwalya?
Yeah, tuwalya. How do you say it?
Innards?
Like-
Intestine wall?
Something, I think, stomach walls, stomach lining,
walls,
right? Originally, it's with stomach lining. So I think that's kind of hard to come by and a bit expensive because you make it with cow innards, right? But it's really good. And then now, people like to eat the fast food. So there's lots of mixes for kare-kare. And when you really want to make kare-kare, you have to grind the peanuts by hand, everything by hand, right? To make peanut paste. But now you can just buy mixes and stuff. But still, the original kare-kare is very good. Now you can make it with pork, with beef, with chicken.
Or just vegetarian.
Or you can just use vegetables if you want to be vegetarian. Because it actually has lots of vegetables. Because even though it's peanut sauce, it actually doesn't have, what they call this? It has taste, but it's not salty, it's not sweet, as if there's no taste at all. So there's taste, but there's no taste at all. It's kind of weird. So you eat it with shrimp paste, or in Filipino, bagoong. Oh, it's so delicious. Okay. But I cannot eat paraga. It's not fiesta yet.
Yeah.
Lechon, roasted suckling pig. Next is lechon, or roasted suckling pig. Tuwing Pasko, hindi mawawala ang lechon sa pagkaing Pilipino. Every Christmas, roasted suckling pig is always present in Filipino dishes. Lechon is expensive, so you only get lechon. It's an entire pig that's roasted. So usually, you roast it for a long time because you want everything to be even, right? The way it's cooked. And then at the end, you will get this really, crackling skin. Yeah, very, very crispy. And then you eat it with liver sauce. That's the best. You only get this usually every big festivals or in some families, Christmas. We don't do lechon for Christmas because in the city, you cannot really do actual lechon. But you can buy lechon. What happens is, you get lechon on Christmas, and then the next few days, you get lechon paksiw, which is the meat of the lechon cooked as a stew, right? With the liver sauce, and it's very good. That's my favorite, actually. I like lechon paksiw more than lechon. So this is lechon. I don't know if you can see. Aren't we going to insert pictures here? Here on this side, you will see lechon. Mangga, mango. Mangga, or mango. Mura lang ang mangga sa Pilipinas. Mango is cheap in the Philippines, and we have the best mangoes. I have a Thai friend. He admits that we have. And those red mangoes that you get in the store, they're not real mangoes. If you want to try real mangoes, go to the Philippines. Yeah, so we have two kinds of mangoes, the yellow ones and the green ones. The yellow ones are the usual, very sweet, very fragrant, best fruit in the world, mangoes. The green one is the slightly sour ones that we call actually Indian mangoes. I don't know why. Because they're sour and because Filipinos really like to combine taste, sweet, spicy, sweet, salty, sour together. So we eat this sour green mangoes with shrimp paste. Or sometimes salt if you don't have shrimp paste. And it's really delicious. We eat that always in high school after class. Sinigang. Sinigang. Tamarind soup. Sinigang. Or sinigang. Or tamarind soup. But actually, it's not just tamarind soup because you can have sinigang based in guava, sinigang based in some other sour things. Masarap ang sinigang dahil sa saktong asim na lasa nito. Sakto. Tamarind soup is delicious because of its pleasantly sour taste. So, you can make sinigang with pork or with shrimp or with fish. But my favorite is pork sinigang. What is yours? Pork also. Before when I was young, I liked shrimp sinigang. But then I realized I like shrimp better in either curry or just in butter sauce because shrimp is better in butter sauce. So, sinigang is best with pork. Dinuguan. 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 Or in English, dinuguan. Ang dinuguan ay ang dugo ng baboy. Dinuguan is pig's blood. Oh, but I like it. I like dinuguan a lot. Especially if dinuguan has more meat. Because some dinuguan doesn't have any meat at all. Just like the pig's blood. It's not pig's blood. It's coagulated pig's blood, isn't it? No, just a bit of coagulation there. But it's like a stew kind of pig's blood. How do you say it? What does it mean? But it's very delicious. And I like eating it with rice because we eat everything with rice, right? Next is sisig. Sisig. Everyone's favorite, sisig. Or, in English, sisig. Ang sisig ay mas masarap pag sisling sisig. Wow. Sisig is even more delicious if it's sizzling. I think the original idea of sisig is chopped pig's face. So the meat that you use there in sisig is pig's face. So you just cut up everything, and then add some lime, liver, and then cut up everything, and then make it to a sizzling plate. So everything is as if it's fried, right? And then you add some, what's this? Like spicy things. Now in many restaurants, you can order sisig in, say, pork sisig, right? Or tuna sisig. Oh. Tuna sisig is really good. That's it for today's lesson. Hope you learned something new. And have you ever tried any Filipino food? If you've tried something that we haven't said, please comment them down below and tell us if you like them or not. Or if you have tried the ones that we have said, please comment them down below and tell us if you like them. And hopefully you did. Because if you don't, then go. Get out. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more Filipino, head on to filipinopod101.com. Till the next lesson. Nagbabago. Ano nga? Hanggang sa muli. Hello guys, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica.
And I'm Ice.
And for today, we will learn about the 10 reasons to learn Filipino.
Filipino!
Ano ba yun? Just stop. Ako muna, ikaw. Ikaw muna.
So why should you learn Filipino?
Why?
Because...
Number 1 reason is because ito ay isang magandang wika. It's a beautiful language. Ito ay isang magandang wika. Or, in English, it's a beautiful language. Is it?
Is it?
Formal Filipino is very beautiful language. It's a very romantic language. Right? If you read, say, novels written in Filipino.
Like the old ones?
Yes.
Like Florante at Laura.
Yeah, Florante at Laura, which is, what's Florante? It's like our own version of Romeo and Juliet, right?
Yeah. But like with monsters?
Yeah. It's a bit fantasy.
Yeah.
Say, like,
Maybe it's our own version of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's our Game of Thrones. Laro ng trono. Next reason is...
Para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Pilipino. To chat with Filipino friends. Para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Filipino. Which is to chat with Filipino friends. If you want to really be close to your Filipino friends, it's really better if you know how to speak the language. And yeah, we all could understand English, but
yeah,
it's more fun in Filipino.
There are jokes that you can only say in Filipino, that they're only funny in Filipino, right?
For example, si Dan ay nag-aaral ng Filipino para makipag-usap sa mga kaibigang Pilipino. Dan is studying Filipino to chat with Filipino friends.
Good for you, Dan.
Mahusay, Dan.
Good, Dan. Next reason is para makapagsalin, to do translations. Para makapagsalin, or to do translations. Nagsisikap ako mag-aral ng Filipino para makapagsalin. I am doing my best to study Filipino to be able to do translations. Do you need to do translations in Filipino?
I guess it's still better to translate. If there are some things that not all Filipinos would know if it's in English. So
yeah,
I think there is still some jobs that involve like translating to Filipino. Or actually, maybe it's the other way around. Like, you translate the Filipino works into English.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess... Oh, you're doing that. Para makanood ng pelikula na walang subtitle. To watch movies without subtitles. Para makanood ng pelikula na walang subtitle. To watch movies without subtitles. Yeah, like, there are a lot of Filipino films, and, like, I guess they would not be, like, in pure Filipino, but, like, you know, Tagalog English. Because that's usually how people talk in real life.
Yeah.
It's a great reason to learn
Especially,
Filipino.
I think, now that our indie movie industry is booming.
Exactly.
So there's those kinds of movies that deal with concepts that are kind of hard to translate in English. So it's best if you, like, have those subtitles so you can be guided, right?
It's best if you don't need the subtitles.
Yeah, actually. So you already understand everything.
Yeah. For example, 3 taong tuloy-tuloy nag-aral ng Filipino si Mary bago siya nakanood ng pelikulang walang subtitle. Mary studied Filipino for 3 straight years before she was able to watch movies without subtitles. Wow, 3 years? Do you think they could do 3 years? It's easier to understand movies because you see the reaction, like, you know, non-verbal communication is still very important.
So you put it into context, right?
Yeah.
The words being said. So actually, that's easier if you watch it in movies than just like reading books. Next reason is para manirahan sa Pilipinas. To live in the Philippines. Para manirahan sa Pilipinas. To live in the Philippines.
Because
It's more fun in the Philippines. It's also more traffic. It's also hotter.
depends on where you're coming from.
So, for example, si Yutaro, that's in Filipino, right? Yutaro. You don't say Yutaro. Si Yutaro ay maninirahan sa Pilipinas kaya siya nag-aaral ng Filipino. Yutaro will live in the Philippines. That's why he's studying Filipino. Para maintindihan ang lyrics. To understand song lyrics. Para maintindihan ang lyrics. To understand song lyrics. For example, hindi ko inakalang malalim pala ang ibig sabihin ng kantang ito hanggang sa naintindihan ko ang lyrics. I didn't know that the meaning of this song was deep until I understood the song lyrics. This very, very interesting reason. What we call like OPM, or original Filipino music, is a very big industry. And we like singing a lot. So we always have lots of deep, romantic songs, right? Really deep love songs that you would only appreciate it if you know the lyrics.
Just not just love songs, but
Yeah. Even like
maybe
jingle.
90%.
Yeah. Or maybe 90% is romantic songs. I don't know why. People are just like, they were hurt, those people. Who hurt them?
I don't
Okay, next.
Para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. To make new friends. Para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. To make new friends. It will make them comfortable if they are speaking in their own language, and like that's the time that you could know more about a person if they're in their most comfortable state, I guess. So
Yeah, and
like,
they can only share like things about their lives, right, if they're speaking in their own language. Because sometimes, for instance, you don't really speak English a lot, and then you have to tell someone about your life. Then you'd be like, no, English is very hard. I'm just not going to say anything to you anymore, right?
and a lot of the words doesn't really translate to English, so it's not as fun telling it if you have to like explain what this word means. Especially like names you call your family, like ate, kuya.
Ate or big sister, right?
This because like you would never call your big sister like, oh, my big sister.
Yeah. Even for me, when I tell my foreign friends about my mom, I don't like. It's kind of weird because I just call her mama. She's not a mom. She's a mama. So it's like weird.
Mama's son. For example, palakaibigan ang mga Pilipino, kaya gusto kong matuto ng Filipino para makagawa ng bagong mga kaibigan. Filipinos are friendly, so I want to learn Filipino to make new friends. There are two kinds of Filipinos. One One is the person and one is the language. And if you translate if you translate both to Filipino, they actually become two. Filipino is the person and Filipino with
Is the
F
language.
is the language.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with that because they're both Filipinos in English, but they become Filipino and Filipino in Filipino.
In the same way that Philippines, it's not with an F, right? It's a PH. But if you make it into Filipino, you would say Pilipinas, which is with a P. That's why people living in the Philippines are called Filipino at Pilipina, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Do not spell Filipino with a PH.
Yes.
It's F.
Yeah.
Para makapagnegosyo sa mga kumpanya sa Pilipinas. To do business with Filipino companies. Para makapagnegosyo sa mga kumpanya sa Pilipinas. To do business with Filipino companies. Balak palawakin ng boss ang kumpanya sa Pilipinas, kaya mag-aaral ako ng Filipino para makapagnegosyo. My boss plans to expand the company in the Philippines. That's why I will study Filipino in order to do business. I guess this is one major reason for people to learn languages is for business. It's the same thing like we've been saying. If you don't get the inside jokes, then you also don't get the inside deals.
Like making friends is one thing. Doing business is another. Because doing business actually involves money. So for you not to lose any money in this business, then
you better do your research.
Yeah. And study your language. Para makapasok sa graduate school sa Pilipinas. To go to a graduate school in the Philippines. Para makapasok sa graduate school sa Pilipinas. To go to a graduate school in the Philippines. Para makapasok sa Universidad ng Pilipinas, nagsisikap si Jane mag-aral ng Filipino. In order to enter the University of the Philippines, Jane is studying Filipino very hard. This is very important, but I think it's more important in socializing, right? And in feeling embedded in where you are. But it's not really important, I think, in attending classes in the university because in where we went to, in the University of the Philippines, the classes are in language. The classes, obviously, they're in language. The classes are in English, right?
Yeah.
And so you can go to, well, of course, your classmates and your teachers will speak Filipino. But everything is in English. Your textbook, your reading materials.
I guess there are some subjects which are in Filipino.
Yeah, in Filipino, of course, like Humanidades.
Yeah. But like, sometimes your teacher would still accommodate you and speak English most of the time if need be. But yeah, it's still important to learn Filipino if you want to like not be an outcast.
Yeah, so if you want, because that's very important in university life, right? For you to enjoy university life. So now that I'm in University of Tokyo, I'm so happy because I don't speak Japanese so much and I don't have friends. Okay, next.
Okay, next. Para magkaroon ng Pilipinong kasintahan. To have a Filipino lover. You definitely want to learn Filipino if you want to have a Filipino lover or in Filipino. Para magkaroon ng Pilipinong kasintahan. For example, nagsisikap si Rudy mag-aral ng Filipino para magkaroon siya ng Pilipinong kasintahan.
Go, Rudy.
Go. I support you. Rudy is trying hard to learn Filipino so that he could have a Filipino lover. Yeah, I guess.
Go, Rudy. Go, Rudy. Go, Rudy.
Oh my God.
It's going to help you actually because they would think you are cute, right?
Yeah.
That they would think you're trying. It's not so much that you really need to be fluent in the Filipino, but the idea is that you are trying and that speaks a lot about you.
Yeah, definitely.
And the most important thing is when you start fighting, they will definitely turn back to their language, right? Because they're really mad. So if you're really mad, then you will start speaking your own language. So for you to understand what they're babbling about, better learn the language. That's enough reason.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you for tuning with us today. Thank you for watching this lesson in Filipino. Oh my God.
Filipino top words. What is your reason for studying Filipino?
Yeah, please tell us in the comments. And if there are things here that you want to be clarified, I don't know.
Yeah, don't hesitate to put them down below. And like and subscribe to our channel.
If you need tips to have a Filipino lover,
Write them down.
right? Yeah.
Ice will help you.
No. And if
Visit
you...
FilipinoPod101.com for more Filipino lessons.
Yeah.
Thank
For
you.
more Erica, more
Ice.
Ice.
Hanggang sa muli.
Hanggang sa muli.
Paalam. Hello guys and welcome to Filipino Top Words. I'm Erica and for today we will learn about the 10 compliments you always want to hear. Ang guwapo mo. You're handsome. Two possible circumstances. First, if the person is really, really handsome. Second, if you want something from that person. So for example, you want something done for you. You go to this person and say, "Oh, ang gwapo mo. Pwede bang pakitulungan ako?" In English, "You're handsome. Can you help me with this?" Ang galing mo. Or, "You're good." But this is very nice to hear, right? If your boss tells you, "Oh, you're good at what you do. Keep doing it." Then you say, "Oh, thank you. Can you raise my salary?" Right? So it's not about you being kind, but it's more about you were able to do something. Like you excelled at something. So in sports, for instance, or as I've said, in your job, you were able to do something very nice, then this is a proper compliment. So also if your friend helped you, and this friend actually did a very good job, for instance, then you would also say, "Ang galing mo," or "You're good." Mahusay kang kaibigan. You are an awesome friend. I don't really say this to my friends. I mean, we have more of like a love-hate kind of relationship. So, I mean, it's good if you actually say this more to people that you are not so close to. Yeah, because once you get close to a person, then you can actually insult this person.
Yeah.
And that's more like the kind of friendship that you will get, like more of like love-hate kind of, right? But then, of course, you want to compliment because compliments actually make you feel nice. And when you feel nice, you do things much nicer. So, this is something that you can tell your friend. You are an awesome friend. Mahusay kang kaibigan. Mas maganda palalo ang iyong kalooban kaysa sa iyong panlabas na anyo. Your inside is even more beautiful than your outside. I think if I'm your friend, I won't even like this because I want my outside to be more beautiful than my inside. Because I'm vain like that. I don't care about what you think of me inside. As long as you think I'm beautiful. I think more people are going to like that one than this. I mean, if you tell this to someone, what would that person say? And this person would probably say, "What do you think of me? I'm not beautiful on the outside." Right? It's not so nice, but you can try. Let's see how far you will go. But it's actually nice to compliment people's inside. Kahanga-hanga ang iyong resume. Your resume is impressive. And this is very helpful when you are you're being interviewed. And if you hear this phrase, then that means you have a good chance of getting the job. Because that means your resume is actually very impressive for them. But sometimes, you know how HR people are, right? They just tell you, "Oh, your resume is very impressive, but I'm sorry, we found someone with a more impressive resume than you." So if someone tells you, "Oh, your resume is very impressive," then it also tells you that, okay, you're on the right track of whatever you want to be, right? So I think that's very helpful. Magaling or great job. Saya no, great job. So this is a common phrase, common compliment that you will hear. So you can use it in many different circumstances, like you accomplished something. So if you also troubleshoot something, you're able to do it, then your boss will say, "Oh, that's good job," or "great job," "better job," "best job."
Greatest job.
Bestest job. Bagay sa'yo ang jacket na yan. That jacket looks nice on you. After you compliment them on the inside, you also compliment them on the outside, right? But your compliment only goes to the jacket, not poor person. You can change jacket into whatever things. Bagay is, it fits you, right? So when you say bagay, other than it meaning a thing, right? Bagay also means it suits you. So you can say, that dress suits you. So bagay sa'yo ang bestida na yan. Or that hat suits you for whatever reason you're wearing a hat, right? So, or those glasses suit you. So that's actually a very useful compliment to learn. Maganda ang taste mo. You have good taste. So this is a very nice compliment if someone tells you, oh, you have very good taste in, say, furniture, right?
Furniture.
Or in clothes, or on, house decor, right? That's a very nice, because that means, we use the same word actually, taste. But usually we just say, maganda ang taste mo. Or okay ang taste mo, right? Okay ang taste mo. Which all means you have good taste. Maganda ang iyong ngiti. Your smile is beautiful. I think you only say this to your prospective partners. You don't say this to your friends, right? Because if you say this to your friends, they'll be like, what is wrong with you? Right? So, maganda means beautiful. So, you can replace ngiti with many other things. So, you can say, bag. Maganda ang iyong bag. Or, your bag is beautiful. Or, maganda ang iyong buhok. Or, your hair is nice. Right? Maganda ang iyong damit. Or, your clothes are nice. So, you can change ngiti to something more appropriate for the occasion. But if you're courting someone, maganda ang iyong ngiti can actually help. But then, whoever you're courting is going to be like, what? I think it would be much better if you say, maganda ang ngipin mo. You have good teeth. Ang ganda mo. You look gorgeous. Or you look beautiful. Or you look pretty, depending on the level of prettiness, right? Ang ganda mo, which means you look gorgeous or you look beautiful. Or you can also say, ang cute mo, right? Which means you look cute. And we say this like for small people. Ah, you're so cute, right? I have two close friends who are very, very petite. And they're really, really cute. They're like my kids. They're so cute. So, if you want to say that she or he is very, very beautiful, then you can just repeat words. So, ang ganda-ganda mo, ang galing-galing mo, right?
So that means
And then you can change your tone to make it sarcastic. So, if you think that this person is actually not really good at this job, but you want to be sarcastic, you can say, ang galing-galing mo. And we like being sarcastic in Filipino, so you will hear that a lot. And that's it for today's lesson, and hope you learned something new. If you have heard any of these, comment them down below. And what do you think is the most useful among these things? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more Filipino, visit filipinopod101.com. Hanggang sa muli. La la la.
Hi, I'm Ice. Welcome to Filipino Top Words. Today's lesson is about top 10 sad words. So, let's go. Nababalisa. Nababalisa. Upset. Our first word is nababalisa. This means upset. Jerry's upset. So, in Filipino, it will be nababalisa si Jerry. Nababalisa si Jerry. I guess because Tom is always after him. Saktan. Saktan. To hurt. Our next word is saktan, meaning to hurt. I don't know who is Cory and who is Benny, but apparently sinaktan ni Cory si Benny. Sinaktan ni Cory si Benny. Cory hurt Benny. Benny got hurt by Cory. I guess they're not in good relations right now. Nalulumbay. Nalulumbay. Lonely. Nalulumbay. This means lonely. Actually, this is quite like an old word. Like, it's kind of poetic even to say nalulumbay. It's just, it makes it look, it feels very dark. So, if you have a friend, Carmen, who's lonely, then maybe you could use this sentence. Nalulumbay si Carmen ngayon, kaya pupuntahan ko siya. Nalulumbay si Carmen ngayon, kaya pupuntahan ko siya. Carmen is lonely now, so I will go to her. You're such a good friend. Carmen is very fortunate to have you. I feel like it's a very good thing to do for a friend who's lonely. Malungkot. Malungkot. Sad. Our next word is malungkot, meaning sad. Malungkot ako kapag wala ka. Malungkot ako kapag wala ka. I'm sad when you're not around. It's kind of sad and happy to hear that from someone. Miserable. 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 Our next one is miserable, meaning miserable. So it's actually spelled the same way as miserable, but again, we say it as how it is spelled out, miserable. So, for example, you had a report and then it didn't go well, so you might want to say this. Magulo ang report namin kanina, kaya miserable ang pakiramdam ko. Magulo ang report namin kanina, kaya miserable ang pakiramdam ko. Our report a while ago was messy. That's why I feel miserable right now. Guess you just have to let time heal you and move on. Because it's just a report. Pag-iyak. Pag-iyak. To cry. Our next word is iyak or pag-iyak, meaning to cry. Ang pag-iyak ay mahalaga paminsan-minsan para mailabas ang sama ng loob. Ang pag-iyak ay mahalaga paminsan-minsan para mailabas ang sama ng loob. Crying is sometimes necessary in order to release our feelings. I agree with this. Yeah, don't bottle it up inside. Well, actually, yeah, because it might come out as something worse. So, let it out as tears. Pinanghinaan ng loob. Pinanghinaan ng loob. Discouraged. Pinanghinaan ng loob. Discouraged. Pinanghinaan ako ng loob nang mabalitaan ko ang nangyari sa guro natin. Pinanghinaan ako ng loob nang mabalitaan ko ang nangyari sa guro natin. I was discouraged upon hearing what happened to our teacher. I guess something bad happened to him or her. So, that sucks. Sorry. Sorry, teacher. Nabigo. Nabigo. Disappointed. Our next word is nabigo, meaning disappointed. Okay, so for example, you watched Beauty and the Beast and this wasn't really what you expected. So you might use this sentence. Nabigo ako sa palabas na Beauty and the Beast. Nabigo ako sa palabas na Beauty and the Beast. I was disappointed by the movie Beauty and the Beast. I wouldn't disagree, to be honest. Hindi masaya. Hindi masaya. Unhappy. Next sad word is hindi masaya, meaning unhappy. It literally means unhappy, like not happy. For example, si Claire ay hindi masaya sa pagkatalo sa volleyball match. Si Claire ay hindi masaya sa pagkatalo sa volleyball match. Claire is unhappy about their loss at the volleyball match. I guess if you lose any kind of sports, you're not gonna be happy. Well, although if you think that you have given it your all, then you'd still be like at least proud if you're not happy that you've done it or something. But there's always a next time. Just train harder, I guess, Claire. Tinanggihan. Tinanggihan. Rejected. Our next word is tinanggihan, meaning rejected. I guess, yeah, that's a very sad thing to be rejected. Like this example. Tinanggihan si Troy sa kanyang pag-a-apply ng visa. Tinanggihan si Troy sa kanyang pag-a-apply ng visa. Troy's application for a visa was rejected. This is definitely a sad time for Troy. Well, it's actually very sad if you get to this situation, because like visas have so many requirements, and like if you still didn't get it, it's just like, oh my god, what was I supposed to do? Anyway, I'm so sorry to finish this on a very sad note, but it is top 10 sad words. So, well, if you have any more sad words you want to know in Filipino, please feel free to comment it in the comment section. Like, we will not abuse and exploit the comment section, so please feel free to go ahead and use it. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope you liked this lesson, and if you did, please click the like button. If you like the hat, we make a lot of these Filipino learning videos. So please subscribe and stay tuned for more Filipino toppers or other lessons. We also have other lessons teaching Filipino culture, the Filipino language, and some exercises if you want. And if you want more tools to further your Filipino learning, just head on to filipinopod101.com, and we have like tools for memorizing vocabulary and other audio lessons, you could download and listen to on the go. So please check that out, and I hope to see you soon. Hanggang sa muli. Hi everyone, this is Ice, and welcome to another lesson on Filipino top words. And today we'll be discussing about must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing. Wala na akong may dadagdag pa sa sinabi mo. I couldn't agree with you more. Our first expression is, wala na akong may dadagdag pa sa sinabi mo. Wala na akong maidadagdag pa sa sinabi mo. This means, I couldn't agree with you more. So, literally, this actually means, I can't add anything more to what you said. So, basically like, I agree with you with whatever you said. That's it. Like, yes. Well, hindi ako sigurado. Well, I'm not sure. Well, hindi ako sigurado. Well, hindi ako sigurado. This means, well, I'm not sure. Well, hindi ako sigurado. I'm not sure. Siyempre. Of course. Siyempre. Siyempre. Of course. It's like, do you want to get a bonus? Siyempre. Do you want to get 10 more days of vacation? Siyempre. Do you want to get free lunch every day? Siyempre. Do you want to see me next time again? Sa palagay ko. I guess so. Sa palagay ko. Sa palagay ko. This means, I guess so. So, yeah, I guess
I guess. This means you're not really agreeing with them, but it's somewhat like what you are thinking. Not totally, but it's more on the okay, yeah, I see what you're going with this. I guess so. Sasabihin ko pa lang sana yan. I was just going to say that. Okay, our next expression is sasabihin ko pa lang sana yan. Sasabihin ko pa lang sana yan. This means I was just going to say that. Yeah, so this is on the I agree with you with whatever you said because that's actually what I'm also thinking. So you don't even have to say anything. The person just said it for you. So good for you. You guys should be together. Oo, tama ka. Yes, you're right. Oo, tama ka. Oo, tama ka. This means yes, you're right. This one, it's actually kind of like you're opening towards disagreement. You think that this is something you use to agree to someone. Well, it is if you don't include the word but. It's like, yes, you're right, but it usually goes like that, right? So, oo, tama ka, pero mali ka. You're wrong. Mali ka. Mali ka. You're wrong. This expression, you don't really just use it on your own. Just say, mali ka. It sounds very childish. You just say you're wrong. So you have to follow it with why you think that person is wrong, or else you'd act like some kid with a tantrum or some very, very close-minded person. Sa tingin ko, hindi. I don't think so. Sa tingin ko, hindi. Sa tingin ko, hindi. I don't think so. Yeah, this is a much softer way to disagree. Sa tingin ko, hindi. It's it's not like a fact that you're wrong, but in my opinion, you are wrong. And reasoning. Don't forget to reason, or else you won't succeed in your disagreements. Siguro. Maybe. Filipinos actually like using this one. Siguro. Siguro. This means maybe. So yeah, if you don't want to be I don't really agree with you, but I don't really want to disagree with you, you could just be in the middle and say maybe, siguro. Well, it's actually, you could also use this to open up another argument. Siguro, I'd like to do this one more than what you just said. Or siguro, this is a better idea. Maybe this is a better idea. Totoo yan. That's true. Here's another expression you could use to agree to someone, which is totoo yan. Totoo yan. It means that's true. If it's true, then you agree that what they're saying is correct, and you could say totoo yan. And that's it for today's Filipino Top Words lesson. So guys, do you agree or do you disagree? Balut is delicious. Put it down in the comment section so that we'd have a nice balut conversation. Okay guys, I hope you liked this video and learn more Filipino. I hope to see you next time again. Hanggang sa muli. Salamat!
Hi, my name is Erica, and welcome to Filipino Top Words. Our lesson for today is how to respond to how are you. Let's go! Kamusta? Kamusta? How are you? So the first word is how are you? In Filipino, kamusta? So this is very useful when you pass by someone, you want to know how they are, right? Or you just want to ask someone how they are. At ikaw? At ikaw. And you? At ikaw? Or in English, and you? How do you usually respond when people ask you, how are you? And you? So if you are trying to avoid answering this question, you can ask, at ikaw? Or, and you? Probably you're like feeling too tired from work or something, right? Or you can, like casually, more people would say, ikaw? Or just simply, ikaw? It all means, and you. So it's a kind of like a nice gesture if someone asks you, how are you? And then you want to ask the same question because you just want to be nice. Kamusta ka naman kamakailan? Kamusta ka naman kamakailan? How have you been recently? So if you want to be more specific about asking them how they are in a certain period of time, you can ask, kamusta ka naman kamakailan? Or, how have you been recently? So probably you would have friends that would have gone to vacation or would have found a new job or would have graduated from university, which is all me. And then you can ask them, how have you been recently? Mabuti ako. Mabuti ako. I'm fine. So how do you answer all these how are you questions and variations of how are you? First, you can say, if you are really feeling this, mabuti ako, or I'm fine. Of course, you can say it if you're not fine, right? I mean, if you just want to because sometimes when you say, I'm not so okay, I'm feeling a bit down, then they would ask you more things. But sometimes if you don't want to answer any of these things, but you are not fine, you can still say, I'm fine. But in Filipino, you ask people how are you because you want to know how they are. Or we don't really say this as a greeting. Okay naman ako. Okay naman ako. I'm not bad. Aside from I'm fine, how can you respond to how are you? You can say, okay naman ako, or I'm not bad. So if you are feeling like saying that you are not so fine, but you are also not fine, you can say, well, I'm not bad. It's okay. Everything's cool. But I'm crying inside. I'm dead inside. Okay. But inaantok ako. Inaantok ako. I'm sleepy. If you're feeling sleepy, you can say, inaantok ako, or I'm sleepy. After lunch, usually that's the time when you feel this, you're really sleepy. Even though you have lots of work, you're feeling sleepy, or sometimes you don't have lots of work, you're feeling sleepy. So, you can say it. It's valid, it's okay. Just don't say it to your boss. I don't think, if your boss asks you, how are you? I'm sleepy. Oh, that's not really good. Well, probably you should go home, not come back anymore. Goodbye. Thank you for your service. That's how it will go, right? Masama ang pakiramdam ko. Masama ang pakiramdam ko. I'm feeling bad. Or if you are not feeling so well, you can say, masama ang pakiramdam ko. Or, I'm feeling bad. So, you can say this if you have a bit of cold, for instance, or your stomach is upset, or what else? Or you have a broken heart, like those kinds of things. So if you want to say that you're feeling bad, you say, masama ang pakiramdam ko. Okay ako. Okay ako. I'm okay. But what if you're just fine? What if you're just okay, but you don't want to say I'm fine? Or mabuti naman ako, or ayos naman ako. You can also say casually, okay ako, which is very casual. Very simple, okay ako. Okay na okay ako. Okay na okay ako. I'm great. If you want to say that you are really doing great, then you can say, okay na okay ako. You would have to note that in Filipino, when you repeat words, it, what's it called? It's a superlative version of the adjective, kind of. But it's not. But it's kind of amps up the impact of the adjective. So it's equivalent to very. So you would say, okay na okay ako, meaning I'm super duper okay, right? Or if you're really For instance, sleepy. You would say, antok na antok ako, instead of just saying, antok ako, right? Salamat sa pagtatanong. Salamat sa pagtatanong. Thank you for asking. And for instance, you were feeling bad, and then this person that asked you, how are you, made you feel happy, then you can say, thank you for asking, or salamat sa pagtatanong. Because of course, you felt happy that someone asked you, especially if you're feeling bad. So that's it for the end of this lesson. Hope you learned something new. And what do you usually say to your friends, your colleagues, people who ask you how you are? And how do they respond to you? Leave them in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit FilipinoPod101.com to learn more Filipino. Salamat! Hanggang sa muli!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Filipino ebook before it's gone.